No one can afford a home. Everybody keeps waiting for them to show up on Prime Day, but it never happens. So maybe Trump could do something to bring down mortgages.
The Trump administration moves forward with a plan to introduce 50-year mortgages.
Or you can make them much longer, you know, because you know where we'll all be in 50 years. Dead, you know what I mean? This seems like a bad idea, and if black people could get loans, I'd be worried. But hey, maybe I'm just hating, all right? I mean, how much would a 50-year mortgage save people?
Take a $400,000 loan at 6% interest. Under a 30-year mortgage, the monthly payment would be just shy of $2,400. Under a 50-year loan, it drops to just over $2,100, a savings of nearly $300 a month.
Oh, boy! $300 a month? See, it's not a stupid idea. You know what? I'm gonna apply for a 50-year mortgage right now.
But over time, that savings is erased by a much larger interest bill, because while the total interest on a 30-year loan would be about $463,000, the interest on a 50-year loan would total more than $860,000.
Signed, Ronnie Chang. No one can afford.
See, you can learn something from news, right? And I think that's why, a lot of people will embrace the 50-year mortgage, because most people are just trying to look at the monthly payment. And when they see a lower monthly payment, that actually means to most people, I'm paying less, even though that's not true, right? So if you don't know anything about how just basic financing works, it's the longer the term, the lower the payment, the more you make, right? The longer the term, the lower the payment, the more money you make. And, whether it's a 30 or 50-year mortgage, I'm just going to pay it off quickly. That's what we're going to do today with Velocity Banking. And by the way, if you don't know who I am some random dude on the internet who's secretly poor, which is why I haven't replaced my smoke alarm detector for a few months now, right? I don't know if you hear the chirp. I need to do it. Also, who am I? I am some random dude on the internet, Korean Atlanta mentorship, who paid off a mortgage in 2 years and 9 months. Wait, wasn't there supposed to be a sound effect that played? Let me say that one more time. I think a producer, the guy's asleep. I paid off a mortgage in 2 years and 9 months. There we go. 2024. Oh my goodness. It's almost 2026. Can you believe it? Time goes by so fast. Anyways, what are we going to do today? We're going to pay off debt using something called Velocity Banking, right? And we're also going to tackle on that 50-year mortgage. You see this term, 50 years? That's what we're going to do today. And, if the average homeowner is about, let's say, 30, that means they'll have a home paid off when they're 80. That's great plan. Oh, man. You think Trump has some good friends in the banking industry? Might be. I don't know. I think if I were a banker, that would be my ultimate dream. Get a 50-year mortgage, reliable source of stream of income, and then if the borrower is near N50 and they don't pay, then hey, we get a foreclose. Although I don't know how foreclosure works. I've never been through it. Maybe I need to go through it once, or maybe I need a buyer foreclosure. I don't know. But anyways, let's go ahead and get started. Velocity Banking, what is it? Debt payoff strategy, where you throw all of your money into debt using something called a line of credit. And first step, Velocity Banking, is creating a budget. And I always say this, like, listen, let's say you have income and you have expenses, and most of your expenses are due to all the debt that you have, right? 10 credit cards, auto loan, a student loan. And this one, we have a 50-year mortgage, 50-year. And you'll see that the math ain't mathin', right? That's what I called the title of the YouTube video. The math ain't mathin', right? And then on top of that, you got your personal expenses, and you have negative $71 left over. Do you need to make more money? And the answer to that is maybe. I don't know. Most people will say yes. But with Velocity Banking, what we try to do is that we don't try to make more money, although you should always try to make more money, right? But we just don't save it at the end, right? So what we're doing is constantly attacking debt and then increasing something called our cash flow, okay? That's what we're going to do with Velocity Banking. And what we're going to assume is we have something called a line of credit. And in this case, I'll just do like 250, right? Although I'm going to tell you why it's not realistic. So what's a line of credit? It's basically a financial tool where you could borrow money, pay it back, and then use it over and over again. So this is my $373,500 home equity line of credit. So what does that mean? It basically means I can borrow it, pay it back, and then use it over and over again up to the available limit. And the max that I can borrow is up to $373,500. So think of it as like a credit card, but even better than a credit card because I just push a button on the bank's website and then it'll go from line of credit to my checking account. So that's literally what's going to happen. That's what's up, right? And if you don't know who I am, or if you're completely new to this channel, I have over $739,000 in lines of credit. Yep, 739,000, which includes credit cards, because a credit card is a form of line of credit. I'm going to try to get an extra 200,000, hopefully, but I'm going to tell you the secret of how you get credit. Okay, I'm going to tell you a secret. Banks don't lend money to people who need it, right? People who need money, according to the bank, I'm not saying this is true based on, me, according to the bank are bad people because they don't pay you back. And the bank is an institution dealing with humans and as one human to another human, okay? I don't know if you ever heard I'm not heard, I'm sorry, heard. If you ever experienced where one of your friends went up to you and said, "Oh my goodness, I need to borrow money." Or I need to borrow money because I need the money, right? I don't has any of your friends done that to you? Or maybe you did that? I know I did that when I was a kid. Okay. I definitely did that as a kid. And what happened when we lent money to people who said they needed the money is they didn't pay us back. And because the bank knows this, that's why they don't lend money to people who need it, right? They don't lend money to people who need it because people who need money don't pay you back. But we're going to assume we have access to a $250,000 line of credit, even though our cash flow is negative $71. Why do we do that? Because I put the juicy stuff behind a 99-cent paywall. That's more realistic. But, and plus I'm lazy, right? I make the same video over and over again. But I just want to show you this. And this is going to be the most amazing day of your life, according to M. Bison from the movie Street Fighter 2, right? So if you've ever heard of the cash flow index, basically just the formula of your debt divided by the balance of the debt. I'm sorry, your payment divided by balance of the debt. You see, I'm getting a little rusty here because I haven't made a video in 2 weeks, but let me redo this. So you take a formula, right? You take a formula of the debt divided by the payment, and basically what you do is you get a ranking system, and as you can see right here, this 50-year mortgage has the highest number, and the lower the number, the better, right? Pay it off in this order because you get more bang for your buck with the lower numbers, whereas with the high numbers, you don't. So what do I mean by that? In order to get $1,100 back in my life from this mortgage, I literally had to pay someone $350,000. Okay, whereas this one right here, 30,000. I pretty much get the same amount, or 35, right? I actually get more cash flow for 35,000 than 350,000. So it's like a 10x multiple or something like that, right? 35 to 350. Which one would you get pay for that cash flow? I'll pay the 35, right? That's pretty much how you think about it. And so this is what we're going to do is we're going to move some of that debt into the line of credit. All right. So how much is this? Is 5, 8, 15, 27, 37, 10, 35, 12, 15. And then it's $164,000 of credit card debt. Okay, $164,000 of credit card debt. And guess what happens when we move that $164,000 of credit card debt here? Okay, we're just essentially doing a balance transfer. We're not paying off debt. But when we just transfer the balance, right? Guess what happens here? Oh my goodness, right? This 10 credit cards literally goes from negative $71 to $5,088.79 of cash flow. And so the first step, or not the first step, the final step is you put your $9,000 paycheck into the line, take your expenses out, rinse and repeat over and over again. And then after every single month, the balance should go down by 5,000 and some change, right? So let me just kind of show you here. So minus 5088.79, And then what we're going to do is we take the average daily balance, because the interest is calculated by the average daily balance. So we do have to account for that. And then just kind of copy and paste this formula, right? So copy and paste, and then copy and then paste, and then alakazam. So, how we were worried about the whatchamacallit, credit card debt, because we thought it was eating us alive. Well, it's not. No big deal. 37 months, it's all gone, right? Okay, and here's the funny thing. Like, let's say we had $1,000 of checking savings left over, we would have been in a much better position, right? But we're literally negative $71, and we go here, we see that in 37 months, all paid off. Credit card debt gone. All right, so let me just kind of put the milestone here, 37 months, and then this is going to be 164K. And now you got auto student mortgage, 37 months. So 37. So this is the loan calculator, and you get to see with amortized loans, including the 50-year mortgage, what the current balance is, right? And so now we just use the same cash flow index formula here. I'm going to move this $8,000 balance of the auto loan into the line of credit. I'm going to do that right here. And then this is going to be plus 8824.98. And then, all right, so now this is 0. Okay, and then our cash flow is 5484.1. And then, even if we didn't update the cash flow, it still gets paid off after 1 month. So, okay, so let me just do this, 5484.1. And then now, if we just kind of go here, so this is month 38. So let's just do 0, 38, 38. And then we see we have 63 grand here. I'm going to be a little bit lazy and move the entire student loan into the line of credit, even though I actually wouldn't do this in real life. But we're going to do something called chunking, which is more likely what I would do. So plus 63352.87. Okay. And then now, did we update the cash flow? Yeah, we did. And let's see how long it takes us to pay. Actually, no, we did not, because this is now gone. And then now our cash flow is over 6 grand. Okay. So now, yeah, 6 grand of cash flow. Okay. And then we pay, okay. So, all right. So minus 6427.78. All right. And then in 49 months, okay, 49 months, it's pretty much all paid off, right? So 49 months, student loan is gone. 49 months. Actually, what did I do? 40, yeah, whatever. I'm doing this wrong. I'm skipping. 38 months is when, yeah, okay. So 38 months is when the auto loan is gone. But I'm going to be, 38 months. So it'll be 164 plus 22, and then be 186K. And then this is going to be 186 plus 85. So that's going to be 271K at 49 months. My bad. So now 49 months. Okay. And then at 49 months, what's the balance of that 50-year mortgage? It's 336,000. So we're just going to do something called chunking. So basic rule of thumb, right? If you have a high cash flow index number, which means you have a longer term, and you have a low interest rate, like there's an interest rate difference between the line of credit and the loan. Trust me, you don't want to put the whole loan into the line of credit. Like there's little nuances to this that a lot of people kind of screw up. And this is a 50-year. And let me just kind of do this. All right. So what's the current income right now? 9754.7. And then this is 9. We'll just do $10,000 chunk, which means you just move a piece of the loan into the line of credit, and then just kind of pay it over and over again. 336,885.35. So 336,885.35. And then the payment amount is 1126.92. So 1126.92. And then we see that gets paid off in 4 years. Bam, 21 grand in interest. So we're not paying expected to pay 217,000. No, 21 grand, which is not bad. So that's why I say, hey, you, the 40-year mortgage or 50-year mortgage doesn't make sense if you're actually going to pay for 50 years, which is why, instead of calling this the monthly payment, where's the monthly payment? Right here. Think of it as the minimum payment, kind of like a credit card has the minimum payment. Like we kind of know we should pay more with the credit card because they charge like 30% interest. But with the mortgage, they never say minimum payment because they don't want you to pay more than you should, right? Because it's such a quote cheap interest rate, but it's really not. It's really not. Okay. All right. So hopefully one day I'll be able to afford a new smoke alarm or put some batteries into the whatchamacallit. Okay. So now this is 0, and then this is going to be 49 divided by 12 plus 4. And that's going to be 8.08 years. And we are debt free. Okay. So hopefully this math works out, and right, we can easily be debt free in about 8 years, even with the 50-year mortgage. So remember, we didn't pay off the 50-year mortgage in 8 years; we paid it off in 4. Okay. So yeah. Okay. So well, that's it for today, folks. This is Career Mentorship. Have a great day, and I'll see you on the next video. Donate some money to me so I can afford some smoke alarm batteries. Thank you.